So, hey, what's up, guys? It's B-Dog. As promised, I'm coming at you with a live stream for the movie Hereditary, and I brought two people on with me, and right as soon as I go off, they mute themselves. That is
all
good.
right, making sure.
What do you mean? Making sure about what?
I don't know. None of us ruined your intro.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, like that could have happened. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up the chat. I'm not gonna pay attention to it as much. For you guys watching, you probably aren't here yet, but I'm not gonna pay attention to the chat as much because I'm basically gonna be paying attention to these two as we debate whether or not Hereditary is a good movie.
Chris.
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. I saw something on iFunny.
Okay.
Top. Go away. Be respectful.
Okay.
If he doesn't respect your stash, I'm gonna, I don't know.
This is the best stash
RKO
I've
him.
ever seen in my life.
Who's not respecting my stash?
Oh no, I was saying your stash was you, as in like.
Lord have mercy! What
like
the hell just happened?
What?
This is the best I've ever done in the first 2 minutes. We have 7 people. I am freaking ecstatic right now.
Where are my 7 boys at?
Hey, by the way, funny story. The reason I have these glasses is because I was trying to wipe them off this morning, and my other ones, my brown ones, and it snapped clean in half. So it was freaking fantastic.
You told me about that.
2 hours away from home at my college, and I have no backup glasses. So that was fun. But luckily my parents were here and they figured it out. So we're all good in the neighborhood.
This is creepy.
Yes, so I don't lose people. Okay, so we're talking about the movie Hereditary. These are my friends Christian and Cody. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh, hey. This is Cody, and the other voice was Chris.
It's me.
October Sky. I think, yeah, that's Jake Gyllenhaal, right? It's about the guys in West Virginia, something like that, in a coal mining town. That's October Sky. Yeah, rockets. Who thinks it's good and who thinks it's bad? That's a good question. The reason why I'm debating this movie is with them is because I have found people who agree with me, but it seems like an overwhelming majority of people think that it's good. Now, it's one of those things where there's not really people think that the movie's okay. You know, it's pretty divisive. It's either you think it's crap or you think it's good and above.
Yeah, well, I told Ben before we started that the last about hour and a half to 2 hours I've been taking notes. One of the things I took notes on was your review of the movie with Alex and what's her face? What's her name?
Sorry.
Generic white girl 347.
Oh, stop.
That's pretty mean. Okay. Yes, her name's Megan. Sorry. I don't know if I was blanking on her name. What just went off? I should totally not be looking at my phone. But okay, let's keep going. Hereditary. What about it? I'm sorry, I missed what you said. You talked about Megan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. One of the things I took notes on was your review on it. I didn't pay attention to Alex or Megan because I'm not debating them today. You gave it a D.
Yeah.
Which is below average.
Mm-hmm.
And I compiled a couple of notes or a couple of quotes, and then Chris and I also went to some other YouTuber reviewers, and I compiled quotes of that. I'll reveal who it is later, but this person agrees with Christian and I. We found someone else, but they said it was okay. They said it wasn't wasn't amazing. It wasn't horrible. It was okay. I forget what his name was. It was only like a 3-minute review, and he talked really fast. I think he had a leather jacket. Is that correct? Chris is nodding.
Is that Jeremy Johns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah, he's one of the most successful. He's like the second. Well, it's between him and Chris Stuckman. They are the most successful movie YouTubers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he got
okay.
better quicker. Sorry.
Huh?
He got more subscribers quicker.
Mhm.
But Chris Stuckman is now inching up on him, and I think he actually might have him. But yeah, what were you saying? Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, okay. I didn't see what he rated it, but all he was saying is that it was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't horrible. So there's some parts that made his jaw drop, and there was other parts that made him gasp. But other than that, it was an okay movie. And then Chris Stuckman's review, he ended up giving it an A, and he was actually I'll reveal it now. He's actually the person who I took notes on too for his review.
That's a good idea.
I paid attention to his cons. He only had 2 cons.
Okay.
In the entire thing. But I think it's down. I think that what this boils down to is that you say that you're not a horror movie fan, right?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, Chris Stuckman said that he's a huge horror movie fan, and so is Chris and I. We watch horror movies almost all the time.
That's a fair point.
I think this is what our differences essentially boil down to. You know, it's basically like it's almost like watching comedy movies. If like you're a fan of comedy movies, you know, it's like, you know, if you're just in there to like watch it, I mean, yeah, they can be enjoyable, but you know, if you're a fan of it, you watch like 100 of them. Like he's like, I heard basically the same joke, like, you know, 50 times before. Like that, this isn't funny anymore. But then finally one comes around that's actually like, you know, that you're like, oh, this is actually unique, and this hasn't really, you know, this is well made, hasn't really been done before. And other people come in and they're like, oh, well, and they don't really see the uniqueness of it because they don't really know what to compare it to, if that makes sense.
It took you, what, less than 10 minutes to take me out? Pretty great, Cody.
Well, no, we can still go on with this, but I'm just saying that's
because it's okay.
It comes down to preferences.
I think what we need to do here is you got to try to convince me that the movie is fine.
Okay. All right. I think we can do that.
I think that's what we need to do because, like, you think that it's like, okay, you said that it wasn't fantastic, but you thought that it was pretty good, right?
I would give it an A, not an A+, but an A.
Okay. So that means that you thought it was pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
That's a better way of putting it. It wasn't perfect, but you really, really liked it. Okay. Yeah. And, you know, I think you just admitted to some extent the reason that you think it's that level, like pretty freaking good versus just good, is because you're a horror movie fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is this movie okay?
Oh, Daisy, my dog's here.
She doesn't like me.
Oh, I don't know. It's people with facial hair. I don't know why she just
Really?
doesn't like facial hair. Yeah, people with facial hair come in and she's. I know, but she lives around me, and she basically lives around you too. So
yeah, so I guess
yeah, that's a different point.
All right, mind if I read off Chris Stuckman's?
Yeah, sure. You start going. I gotta collect my head because I'm unprepared. Let's go.
All right. Well, let's start with his cons. His cons was he said that there was too many red herrings during the second act. Like he said, it's necessary to have red herrings in a movie because it kind of, if you don't, it kind of makes the movie way too predictable, which is what some of the trappings of horror movies fall under. And then he said they went a little overboard with exposition, but it didn't really take him out of the experience because he was so interested in the story itself and the character when she was finding out. Spoilers, okay. I'm assuming it will be. It is
Yes, we are going to spoil the crap out of this. If you haven't seen it, be okay with spoilers or get gone.
All right. Well, I agree with it being overboard with exposition, like with the exposition dump. With she literally read out of a book at one point, which is like we did this for the Nun review. Like the one priest guy, like he opened up the casket and he goes, "Oh, there's books there. Maybe that'll help." And one of them actually did help. Well, I mean that's an entirely different problem too. But it was like an expo dump. But with Hereditary, it wasn't really that. She was looking for information in the first place. She goes, "Oh, well, I have a bunch of my mother's stuff in the attic." And so she went up to the attic and started looking. Who knows how long she was up there, maybe hours. And when she found some of her old books, which she found and read out of. But, I mean, yes, it's still an expo dump, but we're so interested in the story and so interested in the character that it kind of overrides that. We wanted to find that out, too. It's not like you're sitting through a history lesson.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Right.
That's okay. That's actually something I was going to cover. The expo dump of the book. It just, to be fair, I'm struggling to come up with a better way, so I hesitate to bring it up. But yeah, it was definitely a dump. It was just kind of all right there. It was in a book. You're reading it, and I mean, to some extent, I think that they could have found a way that there was a lot of information on those pages. And so like maybe there could have been a better way to, instead of, just taking all that information and throwing it all at you once, like it's really cliched to do in movies.
I'd probably say I don't even really call this like,
I a better approach.
I agree with you. Like I agree with the exposition thing. But I would probably say like if they didn't do that, because there are a lot of things in the movie that are ambiguous or that aren't really explained. There are confusing things, and it's like if you don't watch it a second time, or if like when you're done with it, if you don't go and watch a video, I'm like, oh, what did these 12 weird things in Hereditary mean? But like if they wouldn't have done an expo dump, if they would have just kind of been like more ambiguous, it would have probably made the movie a lot more confusing. But that still isn't really like a good excuse for it either. It's just either an expo dump or
it's too confusing,
or it's like too much of a super confusing movie, and then that just would have brought down the whole movie.
Okay. Yes, no, I completely understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I think that if they would have cut out the scene altogether, because like the very end of the movie, she mentions like King whoever.
Paimon.
King Paimon.
Yeah, Pokemon, except it's Paimon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, Christian.
Ooh, that was me, Cody. Ooh.
I'm sorry, Cody.
That's all right. We're using one mic here, so.
Yeah. That, she says the name, and so I almost think that you did. Okay, I do think that you didn't need to know who he was, because you get the whole, like, by saying King Paimon, he's obviously some kind of underworld spirit, some underworld king, and the ambiguity almost it would have helped the movie. To me, it would have. Sometimes having that ambiguousness about what something is actually makes the movie more compelling, because you can imagine all these different things and your brain is working instead of the movie showing you exactly and doing it in a very bland way.
Yeah, well, I have a thought forming, but I'm not really sure how to put it into words.
I thought of something, but it's kind of negative about the movie.
All right.
So I was thinking about, I think she meets the lady.
Are you switching sides?
No, I'm not switching sides, but I just kind of thought of this. I don't know, I guess, so it's like she met the family friend, the lady who was like, oh, I talked to my son with this, and I'll give you the ancient words so you can talk to your child too. I think she met her like halfway through the movie, or but like 30% of the movie.
Technically she met her from the first like 20 minutes because she was there for the first basically AA meeting.
Yeah, if she
and
would've-
then she made herself known in the second one, which
Yeah,
is
June is her name.
which was right after the daughter died.
If she would have, I forget the name of the mother, but if she would have gone into the attic and looked at those books in like the first 20 minutes of the movie and like saw that she was a family friend, then that kind of would have like
ruined it.
I don't know. That was just a thought I had, but so I mean, I don't know what else they could have done besides the books.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was. That's some of the thoughts that I was forming. I mean, I'm not sure what they could have done other than a book, because I mean, if you're dealing with ancient information, you know, you're in a movie, you're only gonna get it from like two sources. One is a really old book you found in the attic or a library, or you're gonna get it from like a professor, which, you know, they pretty much had to do it either one of those ways. You know, you're not really gonna get, you know, ancient information any other way. Oh, well, maybe except for a cult leader, but
it would have been.
The witch wasn't going to reveal that to her.
It was better than her getting on the good old fashioned Google or whatever discount version they would have bought and typing in strange sign I keep seeing, and it pops up. It's like, oh, King Payment. It's like, oh, what's this? And it's like, my family's been linked to it all along. And she goes to Google Images, and the first image she sees is a family friend, and she's like, hold on, Slender Man.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw something in the comment section that I'm going to talk about because, okay, so Josh Haynes is his name. He made a comment. He's like, there's no other movie that has come out this year that we're still talking about. This movie came out in what? May? What was it? May? June? Something like that. It came out several months ago, and we're still talking about it. Like, we're debating about it. So he's like, obviously did something right.
I mean, we've been talking about this debate since like it came out, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, we were prepped to do this when the movie came out. The only reason it wasn't sooner was because I'm lazy.
It's probably because this is one of the most well-made horror movies to come out in years. Probably besides, I would put it next to like, I wouldn't say in years, but like recent history, like the past 2 years. Like the Witch, when that came out, The Witch was really good. I thought it was really good, at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rewatched.
Let me finish though, because somebody countered him. He's like, yeah, but this Josh, he said, it started a conversation. That's what makes it a good movie. And so another guy countered him and was like, Josh, but Ghostbusters 2016 also started a conversation.
Oh man,
Now we're at.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
Getting in 3 seconds.
But to be fair, it was a different conversation. We weren't really talking about Ghostbusters, the movie. We were talking about the fact that Hollywood was pushing an agenda rather than the actual quality of the movie. Because it was like, this movie sucks. Why do what?
I said diversity ruins everything.
Yeah. Well, when it's forced, when it's natural, like the Spider-Man trailer that came out with the animated one.
Oh, no.
I don't think that's forced because they're actually bringing it. It's like there's a reason it's not forced, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good. But the thing is, that's not forced at all. But the Ghostbusters one was like there's an obvious difference.
Yes. He's also I mean, people have been talking about for years. I seriously, I've heard for years from film guys wanting a Miles Morales movie. I'm not kidding, and that's the character. He's a established character in the Spider-Man universe.
Oh,
Miles Morales is his name.
I'm sorry, yeah. I'm not a Spider-Man lore expert.
Yeah, that's the thing. People have been talking about it like, we want this, we want this, and yeah. So, okay, anyways, let's get back to the movie. Oh, no, I dropped down to 6. And somebody disliked me. How dare you?
We're off topic. So what's our conclusion with the exposition is that, well, my conclusion is that Yeah, it was a little too much, but I think it was necessary.
It was a necessary evil.
Yeah, it's pretty much a necessary evil, and it was noticeable, but it wasn't. It didn't really take me out of the movie at all. It was just like after the movie, I'm like, oh, that was an expo dump. I didn't even realize it during the movie. It was just that's right. That she read straight from a book. That's an expo dump. Expo dump.
It wasn't the most terrible expo dump I've ever seen, but to some extent, it did take me out of the movie. It wasn't terrible, but yeah, I think it kind of was like when I saw it, I was able to get back into the movie pretty quickly, but I was like, oh, they're just dumping information.
Okay. All right.
So
actually, with your con list, we're going to actually have to come back to this in a bit. Because I wrote down all your pros and cons too. All right. Should
that's good that you wrote mine down.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
You're coming prepared, Cody.
Oh, heck yeah. I don't come into a debate unprepared. Should I read off Chris Stuckman's pros first, or pros next? That was all he had for cons.
Yes.
All right. He said, we've perhaps seen a horror film like this before, but never with this level of skill, at least in recent years. From the opening shot, I could tell it was in the hands of a filmmaker who's passionate about the craft, being, horror movies.
You sound like him, son of a nut.
And he said, well, this is like almost exact quotes. He said, at least the first the first like 30 minutes, it was really creepy without really seeing anything scary. He's like, just the way it was just kind of made it like what happened in the first 30 minutes that was
okay. So I'd probably say Jeremy said in his review, but I was going to say this anyways. Mm-hmm. Like the first 5 minutes of the movie, I think the mother is up in like her office or whatever, and she turns the light off, and then she sees her mom, the woman who just passed away, the grandma. She sees her standing in the darkness, and she's like smiling.
That's pretty good.
That was very creepy, and I was like, oh, okay, it's that type of movie. And then like the movie has you on edge literally like the entire time. It makes you think things are going to happen, and then nothing really does happen until like the second to third act.
Yeah.
In terms of like really scary things. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was done very well, because when the things actually do happen, then it's that more horrifying.
Yeah.
Because the immersion was set up and the intensity was built up over the course of the whole movie.
Yeah. And then the next one, I just couldn't really elaborate on it. That's why I asked Chris. He knows the movie more than I do. And he said, the family was relatable, ... Therefore, it felt like it could happen to me. Like he says, everyone, they have, their grandma or mother has died. They're dealing with a grieving mom. They're, a disabled child, an older kid who's seen something horrific and can't really get over it. And is negatively affected by it, being the father and, trying to console, a grieving wife. All of those things makes the family relatable, which makes it feel like it could happen to the viewer.
That's usually the best type of horror. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but it's the type of horror that when you watch it, you realize it's something that could easily happen to you, because it's, with a lot of horror movies, it's kind of like these people move into an old house and there are evil things there. Well, not everybody is moving into creepy old houses that have terrible things there. Or it's like my brother is a serial killer and he's come to kill me or something like that. Or I know somebody related to me is coming to kill me. And it's like, well, not everybody has a homicidal maniac in their family or close to their family. It's just things like that. So when things like this happen, it's also the horror of the real things that are happening that make it better.
It's basically a normal family, chugging along and doing their own thing, and bad stuff just keeps on happening to them. That's why the average viewer could relate to it so much, and that's what made it really horrifying for most viewers. Do you have anything to say about that? I'm not finished with the pros, but
yes, I do. Well, I do.
Well,
I could relate to the dad most definitely, because he was just especially as the movie went along, like he was like the glue that was trying to hold the family together.
Yeah.
And so, I could definitely relate with that character. And I think to some extent I related to Toni Collette, the main woman. I don't know. I can't remember her name. The mom, but not her mother.
I'm awful with names too. I just go by mom, brother, sister,
titles, basically,
dad, and grandma, slut, and then the witch.
Slut.
But I don't like the whole the family with a disabled child thing. Mm-hmm. I wasn't getting that vibe from the off. She seemed possessed, like just straight up possessed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, towards the end of the movie, it kind of like said, "Oh yeah, that was kind of supposed to happen." Right?
Yeah. Well, yes, but like you talk about relatability. I can't relate to a possession.
No, I mean, like I'm not saying it relates to everyone, but at least one of those things will relate to the audience.
Even if she wasn't disabled, the effect would have still been the same when she died.
Yeah. Well, the thing is what I was trying to get to is that even though it's not everyone has a disabled child, that's not what what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that at least one of those things, one or most likely two of those things, someone can relate to. Having a disabled child is just one of those things on the list.
Okay.
Then I was going to ask you.
It seems like a real family.
No, but okay. I get your point, but I don't feel like it's a disabled child. It never felt like that to me.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's the point I'm trying to make. Because even though I don't have a family with a disabled child, I can still relate to some level the struggles that you would go through if you had if you were in a family with a relatable child, because I've been around people who have disabilities. And so I can still relate to that, even though I haven't been necessarily in that situation. But I don't think that was it. If you understand me.
Yeah, sure.
Then I was going to ask you.
What?
You watched this movie last night again, didn't you?
No.
Or have you watched it recently?
Yes, like a week ago.
Did your opinions change at all? I just was curious when you watched it again.
No.
Okay, I was just curious. I just wanted to know.
I don't know what it is about movie endings, but they can absolutely get me.
Okay, let's talk about that. So, what didn't you like about the end?
Oh no, we're still not done with the Chris Stuckman.
But we can keep going down Chris Stuckman if you want.
All right. The next one was fantastic acting by Toni. Wouldn't be surprised if she won an Oscar. And I found that with a lot of other reviewers. They said similar things. She found the perfect balance between insanity and realism. And that was the last thing on his pros list.
Yes, I know. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, if you really look at it from her perspective, I believe she had a brother who had schizophrenia, who I think killed himself, right?
Yeah,
killed himself. And then her mother died, and then she found out that her daughter was decapitated by accident by her eldest son.
And she found him in the back of the car too.
Yeah,
like, he didn't even tell her. She was just like, "Oh, time to go," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." That's a lot of emotional baggage, especially within, like, I don't know when the brother died, but the mother. All of that happens within a year, except for maybe the brother dying. That was probably within 10 years, 15. So that's a lot of emotional baggage, and she played someone who was overwhelmed by all this, awful things happening to her, and that's why I could see that her acting could be considered over the top, but given all the things that happens to her, to me it makes it seem like she did a good job acting. That's how someone under all that emotional stress would act. we all deal with stress different. We all deal with stress and grieving differently. That's just how she dealt with it, and I see that as a realistic way to deal with stress.
Yes. I mean, yes, especially that's the thing when I went back and watched it. I think I forgot that, all the times that I would talk about it and be like, this movie sucks. And her performance isn't that great. I forgot about how much death she's had in her family. So there's not her performance at the beginning definitely makes sense. It's definitely really good. I'm okay. As you're explaining this to me, I'm trying to decide if, like, what I'm feeling about this movie is like it's pure personal taste, and it's not any of the technical stuff I see.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can happen. It can be where, like, I don't like this movie. It's not a bad movie. It could be an absolutely great movie. I just won't watch it again because it makes me uncomfortable, and not in a way that is emotionally compelling. And I think that's somewhat what I struggle with this movie. But yeah, I'm trying to find a hole in her acting, because the beginning was definitely great.
Mm-hmm.
But then towards the end stuff, and I remember one particular scene, where she's like flies around the room behind her son towards the end of the movie. That
was
wasn't.
when she was possessed.
Yeah, that was definitely okay. Yeah, that was definitely because she was possessed. But that's actually my major critique with the movie. Is the end scene seems very laughable. And I think that's what we should focus on, because like, I'm just going to name all the stuff that are good, and maybe it'll cut down on your notes, which I'm sorry, Cody, but like the cinematography, I don't think it was like overall outstanding, but like the cinematography was like just fine for most of the time. Just okay. Sorry, the cinematography was good, and then there were scenes that were just great. And so it rose the level of the cinematography, and that was really well done. If I remember correctly, the score was pretty good as well. All the visual elements of the movie were really well done. And like the dad's performance, I liked it. He was pretty good at what he did. The
brother, the sister.
Okay. The brother.
His name's Peter.
His name's Peter. Okay. I mean, I thought he played well the character that they wrote for him. The girl, she did a good job acting the character, but it was like initially from the off that she was possessed. I could just feel that. And so I'm not sure if they could have done anything about that to make it seem like maybe that she wasn't actually possessed, like towards the beginning of the movie. That might be a nitpick, and that might be uncalled for, but I'm still going to mention that anyways. And then because like one of the things I wrote down initially, like first straight off the movie, I'm skipping around, I'm going back to cinematography, was that the great opening shot into the dollhouse. That was fantastic. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah. And a lot of the other shots that kind of go back to being a dollhouse, being empty, almost manufactured. Like, you don't control what you're doing. You don't control anything that's around you.
Yeah.
You're just following whoever the maker of the house and your figurine is.
Just walks into the house and leaves her in the car to be found the next day.
Oh man,
That would suck.
yeah.
I think it's also established in the movie. It's like in the middle or towards the end.
That was sorry. Keep going.
Oh, okay. The entity or the demon man, Payman or whatever. I don't like saying Paimon, so I'm going to say Payman. But Payman, he was, so it's said, I think, like, I don't know when explicitly, but it said that he uses the body of a male, and whatever her face is, the grandma, I always forget her name, but she's been like, she's wanted Charlie her entire life, because I think she even said that, like, the mother even said that she breastfed her or something like that. It was saying that he wanted her soul, but he wanted the body of Peter. And that's why she dies first, and that's why she seems kind of weird and she does weird stuff, is because her entire life that he's wanted her soul, but he didn't want her body. And that's why she is like a weirdo, besides being a deformed beast. But like, and that's why like he kills her off first so he can have her soul, and then he kills Peter off second. So then I don't even know if he actually dies, because he
just gets possessed.
He goes, ah, and then jumps out the window.
Yeah, that was the part that we actually laughed at.
Yeah, that was really
that
funny.
was the only laugh. That's the only part we agree with you, Ben. That made us laugh.
We joke about that at work all the time, because she was watching it on her phone on Admit One, and then I peeked over her shoulder, and he looks at the naked old people and goes, ah, and then just jumps out the window. I was like, oh no. It's like, Peter, why are you doing this? No. That's like the only laughable part in the movie. But
I do want to save the ending. I do want to save the ending for a little bit. Actually, you know what? Hell with it. We'll cover it now. See, that's the thing, is the naked old people. And, you know, when she was acting weird and she flies around behind him, it was very comical to me.
I thought it was really creepy the way she was flying around. I didn't like it.
Oh yeah.
Almost everybody I've talked to
said that was disturbing. Like, like when she like sky crawls out of Peter's bedroom, everybody in the theater gasped. That's what I remember. They go, oh man, like, oh
yeah, I didn't.
And that's just personal preference.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was, so I think it's another thing too. Like, were you very immersed in the movie, or were you not immersed at all?
I know, I really wasn't.
Okay, well, for these types of things, if you're just kind of like sitting there and you're just like, oh, this is an okay movie, and you're not really into it, then when it happens, it's not gonna affect you at all. And I think that's the thing with like art house horror movies. They're kind of like, especially with just art house movies in general, if it doesn't wrap you around its finger, or if it doesn't have you somewhat immersed in it at all, then like, if you're not invested in it, then the rest of the movie won't be effective.
Yeah, that's why most of art house movies just like they almost never make it to the top, because they're like the void. Like the void. You really had to pay attention, you know, to the details and kind of figure stuff out on your own.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, that movie's very good.
But that
movie was scary to me.
Okay. Yeah. But that's why art house movies almost never make it to the top, because there's a lot of, you know, you have to do a lot of thinking outside the box in order to actually get, you know, and be immersed. I think maybe it was how you watched it. Like you went in being a movie reviewer, right? You went in and were like, all right, let's see how good this movie is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you were paying attention to all the technical aspects of the movie instead of allowing yourself to be immersed. I think that might be it. I don't know. What I would recommend, which is what if I was a movie reviewer, I would just from what I hear,
it almost had me the second time.
Okay.
It almost had me. So the thing is that, you know, I can't take the movie reviewer hat off. It's not going anywhere. I'm stuck. I'm sorry. I've been infected. I've got a virus. It's not going away. Sometimes it's really annoying, because I want to like a movie called like Pixels, but I can't. But to be fair, no one can, so it's all right.
I haven't seen that movie, but I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a joke. Adam Sandler sucks.
Someone's making fun of your mustache.
Yeah, I know. No, okay. I'm just gonna clear this up. I'm not gonna be following the comments that much. I thought that was understood because we're debating. No, I'm not talking to you. Some guy got pissed in the comments, but I think everybody else understands it. For now, I'm keeping the porn stash. But okay, let's keep going.
All right. So the ending.
Yes, we got to keep going with the ending. Now I'm going to keep explaining. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe having naked old people got ruined for me because I saw the movie A Cure for Wellness, and that had even more than this one. And it was just throughout the entire movie, and that movie was bad. So now I associate naked old people with bad movies.
I've never seen Cure for Wellness, so
yeah,
it's
like I saw on Reddit. I saw a shower thoughts thing. It said something along the lines of, it's like, we feel most vulnerable when we're naked, but there's nothing more threatening than a naked person running straight towards you. It's just I don't know what about it just makes it so terrifying.
Probably because nobody ever does it.
Yeah, it's just when you break a social norm. When you break a social norm, typically that's terrifying, if not unsettling, and being unclothed is a huge social norm here, in Western civilization. If you're not clothed, there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so ingrained in us that when we see that, we're like, oh, yeah, no thanks.
Okay.
Just because A Cure for Wellness was a terrible movie, and because it showed that not plot device, like scare device. Was that what you call it? Way to scare someone, like jump scares, scare device. Never heard that. Just because it showed that doesn't mean that it's not a bad idea. It's just that it sounds like they just overplayed it and like heavily relied upon it, even though it's not the best way to scare someone. But it's kind of like it's like adding salt to something. It's kind of like that was a little extra.
My mustache did not like Hereditary. We are one and the same. We're a team.
Does the stash have a different voice?
It's gruff and soothes him to sleep.
This was a bad movie, Ben.
No. It's your ASMR voice, Cody. On your prayer videos. That's what it is. I keep you with you wherever I go. You're my mustache.
Oh, that makes my chest.
Okay, I'm probably gonna get. People are probably gonna stop watching now because of that comment. I was trying to figure out a more funny way to say that, but it didn't work.
All right, so with the ending, so you said that you didn't like the naked old people, which we kind of covered. It's kind of like a scare device that a really bad movie used once, and that kind of ruined it for you.
That might be the case.
Yeah, but otherwise, breaking social norms is it's not done enough in horror movies, but I think it's pretty. It shouldn't be your main tactic to scare someone, but I think it's a good additive, if that makes sense. And that's what exactly they did. It's kind of like a splash of salt, at the end. It's like, woo. It's like, wow, they're actually crazy.
Would have been more effective for you if they were like wearing robes or something? I'm just curious. Or if like they were younger, or if they were just like clothed.
That's a very good question. Maybe if they were like a bunch of 5-year-olds with the face from Truth or Dare. But other than that, Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe there would have been a way to make it scary. Maybe. I'm just not sure. That's, and I think that's we just hit it. Is the reason why I don't like this movie is because it's a horror movie, and so therefore it was trying to be scary, but I wasn't scared.
Okay.
And so I think that's gonna keep us from going anywhere. Because the central tenet of the movie was that it was scary. And if I'm not scared, then can I like the movie?
You don't have to like the movie, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve a better score. I mean, you can say, I personally didn't like this movie, but technical
like objectively, you could say there were objective things that were good about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in this case, you just didn't. You personally didn't find it scary. Could you at least see how some people could find it scary, or at least how, in this case, Hereditary, most people found it scary. Could you see how most people could find this scary in some way?
I mean, I struggle. I can make a joke about how I could understand why people would be scared of naked old people. Yeah, but
we can go down your con list to jog your memory.
I mean, sure, let's do that, but I don't think we're really going to get anywhere.
Okay.
Because yes, but go for it.
All right. I'm actually going to do well, you said it it wasn't really scary, it was just gross.
Yes, I was going to touch on that. That's the thing is, yeah, it was gross. That's not scary to me, and I think in a way it might partially be because of who I am. But I do not think that gross is the same thing as scary.
Mm-hmm.
But because I get initially scared really easy. I'm a very jumpy person, but that doesn't mean I'm actually scared, because I've developed myself to where, even though I do that, because I wasn't, when I was younger, I was not exposed to that stuff at all. But now I've kind of dove into it more and watched more horror movies. And I'm not sure where I was going with that.
All right.
So let's turn it. Okay, so where were we at?
Oh, you said it wasn't really scary. It was just gross.
Okay.
Well, you kind of just revealed it there that, I mean, you're a very jumpy person. I think sorry, I was looking something up on my phone for a point. But did you follow it up with that doesn't really make a horror movie though? Like, just because it has jump scares doesn't mean it's actually a scary movie.
Yes.
Jump scare is just a physiological reaction that your body can't really help it.
Yes.
Do you know who Junji Ito is?
No.
All right, I recommend looking him up and reading some of the comics online. He's a Japanese manga artist, and he's known to have some of the most terrifying imagery you can just find ever. A lot of his art revolves around inescapable things that just horrible inescapable things. One was that people were finding these giant balloons that were their heads, like this giant head balloon that resembled your head, and there was a noose hanging down from it, and it would come and find you, and it would, as soon as it found you, it would wrap the noose around your head and carry you off. And some people would try shooting at it. When they shot at it and the balloon deflated, their head would deflate too. Some people, they carried an umbrella, and when they carried the umbrella, it would just wrap around the like it would just drop down lower around their waist, and it would just like basically snap them in half. A lot of it revolves around your body as well. Like you can't escape your body. Yeah, like yeah, you can't really escape your body, and it's a disgusting thing, but it's also absolutely terrifying. Oh, it was just there. Scroll up a bit.
Oh,
Yeah. Hold on. Oh wait, bottom left. See the balloons?
Where?
To your right. One over. There you go. Nope. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Wait, here?
Nah. No, up.
dear God.
Oh no, Ben.
What have you done?
It's at the bottom. Never mind.
No, where's it at?
Hold on.
Balloons?
Yeah, like it shows these heads.
I keep wanting to point to the screen, but he can't see it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Here, I'll just send it to you.
No, where is it at?
I can't really explain it to you. It's hard to.
Okay, tell me to.
So right now, you should be seeing 3 rows. It's on the second row, and it's the second picture to the left. That.
Right here?
Hold on, I
Or
can't
this?
see your mouse.
This?
Yes, that.
That was what I was talking about.
Oh.
Just imagine your head like that coming at you, and your friends and family have been snagged up by those things, and they're all like floating around. You don't know where they came from. You don't know what they are. They're absolutely terrifying. They're unescapable. Everyone's tried to escape. No one has.
Wow.
This is what the movie kind of revolves around. It's just a normal family going about their day, and horrible stuff happens to them. Come to find out, it's actually a cult who has a demon king on their side, trying to possess some of your family members. In order to do that, they have to kill some of you off. That's near escapable. That's kind of the horror that this movie revolves around. It's that kind of horror, and the horror of you wake up in the middle of the night, you're kind of groggy, you can barely see anything, and you look over to the armchair in your room, and you see a shadow on it. You're like, is that a person or is that a jacket? And you're staring there towards your armchair until your vision adjusts, or you turn on a light and you're like, oh, that's just a jacket with my backpack or something like that. That's the horror that this movie kind of revolves around. Up until the very end, then it's like a cult style ending.
Okay. I think I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I have to add about, the perspective of, how horrifying this movie is. It's gross, but, typically the most unescapable things are, disgusting. You can't really escape, your own body. You can't really escape something supernatural and, something, actually evil coming towards you in that way. It's going to be gross. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be unsettling.
I would say probably.
And I think that's a KO.
Ooh.
Oh, no, all right. I was going to bust out that argument.
I didn't want. Oh, I'm kidding. I didn't want Christian to talk anymore.
Destroyed.
No, well, to some, okay, it's not a KO, but I'm trying to see if I can feel it. That's the thing. And I'm starting to feel it more. And like 10 to 15 seconds ago, I was really close.
Okay.
Like feeling everything that you talked about. The issue is I think I would have to watch it one more time with your thought process in mind in order to experience it, because I didn't get that before at all.
All right. Oh, one more point is possession and sleepwalking, which the movie heavily covers, especially the mother. Like she, I woke up and they were both soaked in, paint thinner or something like that, and I had a match in my hand, and they woke up screaming. She's like, I don't know how to explain to them that, it wasn't me. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't conscious of my actions. That's another thing. That's also, the unescapable. How are you going to stop yourself if you're unconscious? How are you going to do that? You were about to actually kill, the two people in the world you love the most while you were completely unconscious. And that's terrifying. And that happens to pretty much every single person in the movie except for the dad. Yeah, the dad.
The normal man.
And I think the dad was actually supposed to be the voice of reason for the entire movie, though, which is why he kind of felt like a plot device. Like the mom.
He did feel like a plot device.
He didn't?
He did.
Oh, he did? Okay, yeah. That's what, because that was one of the things that you said, if the father was a plot piece. Well, that's the reason why he kind of felt that way, is because, his wife is, hysterical. She's gone through like so much. Like, you were never that close to her mom. You were never that close to her brother. After the death of your daughter, yeah, you're hurting too. I think he said that in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm hurting too. But, he loves his wife. So his wife comes first, and he has to take care of her. And at the end, he's like, you're sick. We need to get you help. And he goes, I'm not going to burn your book. I'm not going to go along with this, because if I go along with this will only feed into your own delusion. I care for you. I don't want this. I don't want to carry on in your delusion. So I'm not going to do with you what you want. And that's what the father was. I mean, yeah, you could call him a plot piece, which, I mean, would make sense. But I mean, from that perspective, I would say that he was actually, he wasn't a plot piece. He was an actual character who had feelings and let that show sometimes. But only because, he was frustrated and he had no one else to turn to, because who else could he turn to? He thought his wife was being delusional, unburying her mom's grave and putting it in the digging up her
body, putting in the attic.
Yeah. He thought she was going crazy. All this emotional stress was making her go insane, and so he had no one to turn to, and he got emotionally frustrated. And at one point, he finally told her, "It's like, no, it's like, I love you, but I'm not gonna do what you say. I'm hurting too. I want you to get help." And then she goes, "Fine," and she like throws the book in the fireplace, and he catches on fire. And then that's when she just emotionally. That was
the final straw.
That was the final straw, and then she snapped, and then she got possessed. And then she did she moonwalked on the ceiling. That's a
very much. She was space swimming.
But yeah, that's what I think about the father being a plot piece. I would have to disagree.
Okay. I still like this character.
Yeah.
So I thought his character was good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure, you got that point. Okay, I don't know why this happens to me, and it's actually getting rather annoying. But like the last 10 minutes of the movie, for some reason, within the last year, it always gets me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why movies, like, it happens to me with movies, but like I can like literally feel the movie in the last 10 minutes just let all of its air out.
It's air.
Like that's how I think. Yes.
Oh, air out.
Yeah, air. Metaphorical.
Oh, okay.
That's because like I was thinking about how you said like the entire movie is like you can't escape like the terror of not being able to escape the situation.
Mm-hmm. Which is what the dollhouse kind of represents. The dollhouse feel.
Oh, son of a nut.
That's what I was trying to get to earlier.
I'm trying to think of a UFC fight in recent memory. Just a mauling. I can't think of one.
The most recent one, like with Mayweather and the huge Russian man who like actually wrestles bears. Wrestles bears. Yeah.
Lord have mercy, Cody Schmucker. His name is Conor McGregor. Floyd Mayweather is a boxer.
Oof.
Sorry,
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
I think I did.
His name is the Russian bear wrestler is named Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I guess in a way that was definitely mauling. You're right. He just kind of sat on top of him, pounded the crap out of him. That's the style that Khabib has. Anyways, I don't want to get distracted. I was fighting that hard. Christian does that so much when we're doing podcasts and stuff.
I'm sorry.
You just bring up all these other different movies and distract me. Okay, well, anyways, the end scene felt like
kind of a letdown. Was that?
Yeah.
What would you rather have happened in the end scene? Like, what did you expect was going to happen?
Okay, I'm going to try and explain why I thought. I'll get to that.
All right.
Yes, I agree, Jesse. That was awesome. Derek Lewis is amazing. But anyways, I'm going to try and explain it here. What was it? It just the end scene, like when they were in the treehouse, it felt too vibrant.
Well, could that like visually vibrant?
Yes.
Okay, maybe that could be.
Sorry.
Oh well, I mean the end scene is kind of where everything comes together. Maybe the visually vibrant look to it could be a reference to that, everything coming together and making sense.
Yeah, but like, this is going to sound really, really weird, but the imagery of the scene and like the vibrant shot of all the gold and all these people standing around paying homage and him with the crown on his head, it felt too, it felt too vibrant. And almost like the situation that this family was in was not actually terrible.
I think it felt that way just because it was showing it from the perspective of the cult, and that they basically won because the father's dead, mom cut her head off, she's dead.
Daughter's dead,
and he just got possessed. It's like, I think it's supposed to be vibrant because it's showing that they reached their goal and that they won. And it's, from that point onward, it can't be shown from the family's perspective because
the family doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're gone. And the only other way you can show it is from the people in that room, which is the cult.
Okay. Let me digest that for a second. Okay. You're right, but that's the feeling they left me with.
Okay.
And so that's where the problem arises.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Because I get what you're saying, but the entire point, like the entire movie was leading up to they're all to this family can't escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at the end, like, this is going to sound weird too, but it almost like because of that scene, it doesn't feel like a situation where they would want to escape.
Are you saying like
because of the imagery that they put there with all this vibrantness and the crown and all these people around that seemed very happy? It was very it was a very happy scene, and I understand your point, but if the entire point of the movie is they're trying to make me feel like this family is absolutely helpless in this situation and that they should want to get out, the end of the movie makes me think that they shouldn't.
Well, think of it as the Exorcist, or not the Exorcism. What's that one movie from like the 60s?
Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby. Remember that? That movie ended on a pretty positive note for the cult. Like they were like, "Oh, yes."
You have the Antichrist.
He's like, yes.
I haven't seen it.
They're like, "Oh, yeah, you haven't?"
Oh, rips.
No. Oh, okay. Whoops. Well, like, that's critically acclaimed as one of the better horror movies, to ever come out. Like it's kind of like that. It's it kind of leaves you with the feeling like they ended it with is like, "Oh yes, hail Paimon." It's like, "May you bring us fortune and success wherever we tread." And then it kind of like ends. We're like, "Oh man, those people are out there pulling the strings. They're out there being successful. They're out there being famous." Jesse Swarbuck said, "Same with The Omen." Like it's like
I've seen the Omen movies.
When it ended, my impression was, oh man, so now not just the family's dead, but now we have a cult with an actual demon lord running around, making problems. It's like, oh man, like now I have to deal with this.
Maybe it's just because like I don't know, we're like used to seeing most horror movies have either like a somewhat happy ending for the protagonist or a good ending, because most of the time they either beat whatever adversary it is, like out of like all like the Insidious movies and the Conjuring movies, all the movies in the Conjuring universe, at least all the ones. Those are most of the horror movies that everybody points to when talking about modern like mainstream horror movies. Like all of those movies, at the end they're okay and everybody wins. You're not really used to seeing a movie where everybody dies and then the main like the antagonist win.
Yeah.
So that might be why it's weird to you.
Yeah. Think about all like the classic horror movies like Halloween and
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the first Halloween?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically all the almost slasher films, like with Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. That's how you pronounce his name?
Haven't seen it.
Well, almost every single time, if not all of the time, the main protagonist gets away, and the antagonist is either injured or subdued or killed in some sort of way. Same thing with like almost every single horror movie out there. The Hereditary is just one that that doesn't happen.
The only horror movies like off the top of my head where the good guys don't win, I can think off the top, like I can think of right now without like actually thinking about it, just talking. It's probably Hereditary, The Witch, The Thing,
Rosemary's Baby.
I really like The Thing.
I really like The Thing. Perhaps The Exorcism, because technically they don't beat the demon; it just goes into the other priest.
Yeah, and he kills himself.
And then The Exorcism of Emily Rose, because she dies. I'm like Strangers.
But the Exorcism of Emily Rose, it ended kind of as like, oh, she died for a cause.
Yeah.
So even that was a positive note.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, like a lot of movies about serial killers. Like I haven't seen Hostel. I don't think there's a good ending to Hostel. None of the Saw movies have a good ending. I don't think. Like
you're right.
Yeah, and then like I don't know. It's just there's really not that movies compared. Like, there's not many movies where people don't win compared to the amount of movies where people do succeed. Oh, Invasion of the Body Snatchers too. Okay.
I got okay. I'm on I'm on my last ditch effort.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. I already presented my last ditch effort.
Oh, okay.
I'm still on it. The whole golden thing.
Golden thing? Oh, okay.
The scene with all the like how it's all golden with the crown and.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's supposed to be like the 5th king of hell or something like that. Like he's supposed to be royalty.
Okay.
But that also could explain a lot of the vibrant colors, like
that he promises knowledge and riches.
Yeah.
And they have.
Also, he's that's like a actual historical like demon, like written in like, actual books.
I think actually, and I think it's in the Nun. You can see his image in one of the pages.
Yeah, that's right. But that was I think that's right.
Nun. I just know there's a horror movie recently where you could see his image in one of the pages.
Yeah, if you noticed, when during the expo dump, when you saw an image, so he was riding, I forget, like a camel or a horse or something. He had a bunch of heads on his belt, and he was also making like a weird sign with his hand. Or he had like a stick with a hand on it that was making a weird sign. When Peter, when he looked over, or when he was doing that weird thing, and his eye was twitching, and his hand was up, and they're like, "Yo, it's Peter," and like, "You okay?" And they like smashed his head on the floor or on the desk, and he screamed. He was making the same hand sign that you saw in that image.
Okay.
And then the amount of heads being decapitated, that also that's also part of the imagery.
Okay. Explain to me who Halsey is, Hector. Okay.
You can read that.
What?
I was
you just
reading
whispered something.
I said I didn't get to read that because I saw the comment you were talking about, so I was reaching over to see it.
Yeah, my setup's really weird right now. I have my desktop on. I have the mic right between my desktop and my laptop, and I have my notes on top of my laptop, and I have my phone with the live stream pulled up, and the with the chat like leaning against like a shelf on top of my laptop.
Okay. Apparently, Halsey is a singer who considers her music to be alternative.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Halsey.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking. I don't listen to her. I know who you're talking about now, sir.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right. Want me to go through a couple more cons?
Or if you want, but I don't. I think at this point we're done.
All right. Well, I know you. Okay, so I'm going to go through your pros because we haven't done that.
Okay.
Said the ending of the movie was almost cool. Millie Shapiro did a great job. Brother Wolf did good character development. Some good inventive cinematography. I can't talk.
Cinematography.
Yeah, or gosh dang it, techniques. All over fine. Decent to a good score. And movie was generally aesthetically pleasing. I actually have some of the songs pulled up on YouTube on my desktop for the soundtrack, Hail Payman. The top comment says, "Does this track remind anyone else of Wallace Building from Blade Runner 2049?" And then the top one from Reborn from the Hereditary soundtrack with 708 thumbs up says the entire soundtrack was excellent and this was a standout. Great movie. But I'm going to see if I'm able to play the Hail Payman with a comedic twist.
Yeah, I'm going to go use the restroom and get a bottle of water.
All right. Okay, so this is the Hail Payman thing when like stuff's going down. I'm actually going to read one of the comments that I found funny earlier. It says something along the lines of, oh, come on, where is it? Why does this song play in my mind when I have to use the public restroom, but there's no more toilet paper? All right, keep that in mind.
What?
Could you imagine, like,
Sounds
you're
like a
"Oh, yes."
bullfrog.
Yeah, it's like, oh yes, that was a good poop, and then you like put your hand underneath the plastic thing to reach for the toilet paper, and there's none there.
Hey, what's up, Zach? That's pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, the score seemed. I'd agree with you with the score. The score seemed decent to good. The movie
I
was.
liked it. There was some good. Yeah,
it seemed like all of your cons really. Your pros were all basically technical aspects of the movie, including acting, but the cons seemed to do more with the story itself.
Yes.
Okay. That was just an observation I made. That's pretty much it.
Okay. I'm really bad at vamping. I don't know if I'd rather spend 2 hours in a dentist chair or watch Hereditary again. LOL. Wow. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I like that scene too, Hector. Okay, yeah, I think it's about time to close this thing up. Here's the issue. My brain is foggy and I can't come to a clear conclusion.
All right. What would you say after this talk? What would you rate this movie?
That my brain is foggy.
Okay,
That's the issue.
All right. So maybe in like another live stream you'll have to like do a follow-up or something like that.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I will, but I think we've established. Okay, yeah, I think we've established it's a good movie.
All right.
Or you have. Christians provided moral support as usual.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
Chris, get back in here. We're about to do a conclusion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't. You're fine. I'm just talking about how Cody established that this movie is good. And then you provided moral support.
Yes.
Yeah. But that you can't really give an accurate rating because it's 10:30 at night. Well, this is about when I would usually get off of work, but this is like almost your bedtime, right?
No.
No? Oh.
My bedtime's midnight at best.
So I get off work.
Oh man. All right.
That's the issue that I'm running into right now is that I see everything you're saying and I get this feeling inside of me that I should love this movie and I should love everything the director was going for. And the fact that like the entire movie was built around the fact that this family is trapped and they can't do anything. But there's something about the naked old people and the fact that scene was so vibrant. I just can't.
That's excellent.
I wasn't scared, and I can't. Like all those things are great, but it didn't land. And I think it's those two elements. I mean, I understand now the naked old people thing. I don't understand, but everything else that you said, I understand. I completely understand why you think this movie is great. I know why you think this movie is good. And I think this movie is good, except for some reason I don't.
So what ruined it for you was
Yeah, it might just be the old people.
the old people and the tone, the visual tone, like actually
the
like
final
color
scene.
of the final scene.
Damn Cure for Wellness.
Now, okay, I do consider the end scene a legitimate critique, but at the same time, should it kill the movie for me?
I don't think so.
It shouldn't. And so I bring that up just because I was reaching really hard at the end.
Okay, all right.
But still, I mean, that's like the difference between the movie being like a B+ versus an A-, something like that.
Well, when Chris and I were making our pros and con list earlier, which is actually really, really short because Chris Stuckman actually said it better. We were only able to find like 2 cons, we were able to find like 2, maybe 3 cons, and to me, I forget what I told Chris word for word, but it was something along the lines of, you know, if there's only like 2 minor cons like that, that's the difference between an A and an A+. Like if there's one, you're never gonna have a perfect movie. There's always gonna be like one con. If there's one con, and it's really small, like let's see, like Chris Stuckman's too many red herrings during the second act. If it's pretty small like that, or if it's like a nitpick, like it's like, oh well, you know, I can't think of one off the top of my head. The most recent movie I watched was Halloween, and I can't give away a spoiler for that.
I still need to watch this.
Ooh, you need to. It's pretty good. Like if it's pretty small like that, that's like the difference between an A and A+. If it's like really big stuff, like like the main actor, like they're just a really bad actor. Like she emotionally underplayed some parts. She did this and that doesn't make any sense, or you know, like actually like bigger stuff. That's the difference between like an A and a C. If there's like one big thing, but if it's like a small 1 or 2 small things, like one expo dump that was noticeable, that shouldn't kill the movie. That should just bring it down maybe a grade or 2, like an A+ to an A, a C to a C-, something like that.
Yeah, I did name a couple of things though.
Okay,
I did. So it wasn't just like one, but like the tone, I guess.
The tone of the ending,
Like the whole movie.
I think. No, not the tone of the whole movie. Scratch that for a second. Shoot. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be like, Hereditary is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Well, can you at least say this?
Kidding.
So out of your personal taste, you know, you don't like it. But can you at least admit that you can see why other people would like it and why you could at least come to the conclusion that overall it is a good movie? It's just not in your taste?
Yes. Way to throw salt in the wound, Christian. My pride is deeply embedded in my veins. I already admitted it earlier. It definitely, the technical elements of the movie, which when I say that I don't include the acting. But as a general rule, in this situation, the acting was yes, I like the acting. Well, guess what, Scott? I have more subscribers than you. I don't know. Hold on. Don't just throw out comments like that. I understand. I mean, I think it's funny that you would say that, Scott, but
What do you say?
Scott
He said, if you give this movie below a 7 out of 10, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Ben gave it like a 6 out of 10.
Give it a D.
No, it wasn't even a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it
I
was
give
a
it
D.
A D is like, what does it line up to here?
60%. An F is a 50% or below.
Okay, no, that's not how movie reviewing works. It works a little bit differently.
Oh, okay.
It's
So-
like actually hold on. So like the average grade that we give is like an average grade that I would give on a film is like a B minus.
Okay.
Because that means the movie's decent.
Mhm.
Well, actually, hold on. B minus to C plus, I think.
Okay.
So your average grade for a movie would probably be like a 6, 7 out of 10.
All right.
So that when you match it down, a D is more like a 4 or a 3.
All right.
Yeah, I know you were. Well, actually, I didn't know you were screwing with me, but that's good. That's good to know. I mean, like, you would have had to hear the entire discussion, Scott. See, the thing is Scott, he legit has a channel.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very well produced too. And then also Howard, who's been in here a little bit, he also has a channel. These guys legit talk about movies and try to review. At least try to look like that they know what they're talking about. Like me. I'm kidding. You know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, I mean, I understand what you mean. Like why you would say that I wouldn't know what I'm talking about if I don't give this movie a 7 out of 10, because I've been admitting throughout this entire review that Cody is right and he's amazing and he's the next Messiah, but I don't want to say that one because that's probably blasphemous, so I'm going to take it back. Probably close. I was kidding, Scott. I was taking a shot because you took one at me. I mean, you're right, though. You're right.
Heil Cody.
Oh no.
Ben, Civil War. Ben versus Scott, Dawn of Justice. Okay. Anyways, okay, so yeah, because I haven't been able to really defend anything about my opinion. It's basically just been, this movie didn't scare me, and I thought it was laughable.
If it makes you feel any
That's
better,
been my entire point.
movies don't really scare us anymore either, so it's okay.
Yeah.
The only thing that's remotely scared me recently is A Haunting on Hill House, that show on Netflix. No, that's it.
Okay,
You good?
sorry. I completely spaced out. I was reading the comment section.
Oh no.
Oof.
We're gonna create I guess we're creating a movie, me versus Scott. It's called Scott Sullivan Civil War.
Oh.
Yeah, naked old people scare me.
You have
no, I'm not. That's not me. That's somebody else.
you have a 70s cop mustache, and you have the Pope on your side. So
No. It's a 70s
Well, as
porn
Julius.
director mustache is what somebody else called it.
So, do you know what a jewel is?
Yes, I know what a jewel is.
You know what Christian calls his jewel?
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. Hereditary gets 8 hot dogs out of 10. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Christian's gonna come up with doorknobs again.
Hold on.
Ugh.
The doorknob.
Now I've completely lost all control of this.
8 shower heads out of 10.
T-pose.
Okay. What is that from? The T-pose.
Oh, like when you hold on. Later. So some pop-up came up. So basically when you go into like a when you're trying to create a character in like Gmod or something, that's the pose that they make when you like edit them.
What is this?
Gmod. It's
Well, it's not just with Gmod. It's like sometimes when you're loading into some games,
Yeah.
Like out of the game's loading and it just decides, you all T-pose and wait. And then
Yeah.
just character models will T-pose for no reason.
Yeah. Character models in video games do it a lot because
Okay.
I don't know, something about
I think that's just the way they make them. They like when they're creating character models, they make them T-pose.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if there's a reason to make something T-pose, but they do.
Yeah.
So that's where T-pose came from.
Saving Private Hot Dog.
I give this film 8 nail filers out of 3.
You know, it's one of the guys in the comment section names his jewels Julie.
Julius Caesar is superior. I'm sorry, friend, but until you come up with something better than Julius Caesar.
Okay, we've been going for about an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
10:30.
I thought you didn't have a watch on for a second.
I'm absolutely ecstatic, by the way, because my roommate is not back yet. And I was really concerned. I was trying to find a conference room so I could just lock the door and nobody would bother me and try to come in. And I could just talk. But he's not here yet. Huzzah.
Your roommate comes in and agrees with me and Cody.
Okay. I would not let him be able to hear you.
One thing I'm really glad about this live
Okay.
stream is that there was no what's it called? Loop?
What are you trying to explain?
When the sound goes to the
Oh, like
microphone.
feedback loop.
Feedback.
Yeah. That's because we know how to wear headphones.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm not wearing a headphone right now. I'm using my computer or my laptop speakers. But I am because I try to use everything else in my room and it just wouldn't work because all I have are speakers and then like
What about your snowball?
my snowball. I'm using my snowball for my microphone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's cool. I'll check it out, Josh. Probably. Michael Myers versus Jason Dawn of Justice. What the? Okay. Let's close this one up.
All right.
Oh shoot. Question is, do I go for it? Okay. So since this channel is about me, I'm going to be narcissistic and make this entire closing segment about me. Okay, so this movie definitely had some good elements. The filmmaker definitely knew what he was doing. The technical elements were great. The acting was pretty good. How he told the story was well done. And yeah, like it was well done.
The cinnamon was well done.
I don't know if I'll watch this again because I tried it a second time. Maybe I'll try it a third now that you've given me that imagery. But I have this really weird feeling that I won't like it because it didn't feel that scary to me. And like the old people imagery towards the end, as well as some of the stuff that happened, it felt too out there for me to feel like it was scary.
All right. I mean, if you didn't find it scary in the movie theater and you watched it, like, did you watch it a second time?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you watched it, first time, didn't find it scary, watched it a second time, and you already know everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good chance you're not going to find it scary.
Yeah, that's the thing. So way to just use me to promote your channel. Thanks, Scott, for.
Hey, I'm moving into a new house soon. I'll have more privacy, so I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. So if we ever do something again, yeah, then you can plug my future YouTube channel.
On what though? On what?
What do you mean on what?
What's your
channel?
It's gonna be really wacky. I'm gonna do movie reviews. I'm gonna do some gimmicks where I review jewels. I'm gonna I'm gonna review games. No, I'm not gonna review games. I'm bad at that. I'm gonna try. I really like video essays, so I'm gonna try to make like retrospects on like series I really like. Like I want to make a 4-hour long video on the Fallout series, or chopped up into 4 different parts and each an hour long, or just stuff like that. And have
Okay, so just do a bunch of whole random crap.
Yeah, and then I also want to start a podcast as well. So,
okay,
since you've betrayed me and Cody,
what?
When's the last time we made a podcast, Ben? Huh?
I'm sorry, I have a life.
I do too, but I could take 3 hours out of my day where I wipe old people's asses to talk to you guys. But no,
Yeah,
You
deal with real.
work at a nursing home?
I have to deal with real old naked people. All right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I've come to the conclusion that this movie is at least a B.
Dab.
Yes. Success. Do you remember what your rating was last time?
A D.
Yeah. Oh, I told you. That's right.
Yeah. But here, okay. As soon as I said that, I wanted to take it back. That's the thing. It's like maybe okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go. No, I'm not gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Oh,
okay.
Potentially a C. I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I can't decide. This is rough.
Well, you said a B, so that's what it is.
Let's stick with a B. A B. That's good.
Tyler Perry's Hereditary.
What the heck? Anyways, yeah, it had the foundations of the movie were really good. It's just to me, it wasn't scary. It was more laughable, and it was a B. Yeah.
Hey, watch this series called Netflix, Haunting of Hill House. Watch that.
But I still stand by what I said about Infinity War.
What'd you say about Infinity War?
And I will fight everyone. I said it was like a C.
Oh no! Are we gonna have to do a debate about Infinity War now?
Wait, do you both like Infinity War?
I haven't watched it in a while.
I like it.
Okay, but see, here's the thing: is potentially it could go up one letter grade to like a C plus. The thing is like I think the reason why people like that movie so much was because of what was writing behind it, and the story that was writing behind it, and to them it felt like this big fantastic conclusion. I really didn't like the ending, and so like the movie, if you break it down, the elements, the technical elements and all that, it was fine. It was just a fine movie.
Okay.
But
yeah,
the emotional wasn't there for me. And so like on a technical level, I would say it's like a C plus to it. Yeah, I would say it's like a C plus, about just average.
I would say that for the technical aspects.
Yeah.
Except for the CGI. The CGI was really good.
It's Marvel. But
when it comes to shots, like using like wide shots for certain parts versus like close-ups versus whatever, and transitions, I would say that it's average. I wouldn't say that it's great. I would say it's average.
The only thing that I liked about it more than other superhero movies was the fact that superheroes lost, everybody died. That was the only thing, because it actually felt like there's suspense, because 9 out of 10 times when you watch a superhero movie, you pretty much know that the protagonist is going to win.
Yeah, and they always fight themselves, but evil.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. But I think one of the things that might have got to it was that it doesn't really feel like in the Marvel universe that there's a strong villain. And like sorry, hold on. what I mean by that is they don't face villains, like legit villains, very often. It has a tendency to be dealing with personal stuff and themselves and trying to work together as a team, and the villain is just a placeholder.
Okay, that would be the Avengers movies.
Yes, sorry, the Avengers movies. Yes, let's go with that.
Standalone ones like Iron
yes,
Man.
the Avenger movies.
Yeah, but for like the one like the individual ones like Iron Man 1, he literally just fights a bigger version of Iron Man.
Okay, I haven't seen that one in a while.
Black Panther, he fights another Black Panther, literally. Like the only difference is like one was purple, the other one was like yellow.
In the first Thor movie, doesn't he?
I believe I watched Infinity War before I watched Black Panther, though.
Black Panther's trash.
Oh,
sorry, how to speak some truth.
Oh wow, you're racist.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, that's about it.
Imagine somebody clicking on this and like, oh, Hereditary live stream, and then just hear Black Panther was trash.
They're like, who's this racist SOB?
Who did this?
Who did this?
Okay.
Who did this? I want to.
You're a Donald Trump supporter.
You will be executed. All right.
I don't know about that one. I thought Black Panther was actually very good. But anyways, okay, we're going to close up.
Wait, hold on. Let me do something first.
Do you want me to link you the 4-hour critique I watched on Black Panther?
I'm not watching a 4-hour critique on Black Panther.
Hold on, let me find my mouse. All right. Dun dun da da.
What?
Thanos review.
Review is now. I made the D a B. That's it.
Okay. What were you showing?
Oh, that like for my notes, I wrote down your rating on the top corner.
Okay.
Wrote down your rating on the top corner, and it was a D, and then I corrected it to a B after. Well, I corrected it to a B.
Okay.
That's about it.
You feel accomplished?
I feel very accomplished.
Okay, that's good.
You made my night, Ben.
I'm glad that my pain makes you feel happy.
Now just hold this L.
Stop.
Okay, fine. I'll hold that L and then cry myself to sleep.
Oh.
Might not wake up tomorrow, but that's okay.
Stroke your mustache. That'll make you feel better. That'd make anyone feel better.
Hold on, I can do this.
Okay, now you're getting creepy.
I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
Okay, thank you. Oh, that makes me feel so good, Cody. You really know how to turn a guy around.
Next time on the Men
you're
podcast, we talk about forced diversity and why Black Panther is a bad movie.
Ooh. Well, kind of a face reveal right there. Oops.
You've seen our face before, though, in thumbnails.
No, that's right. Whoops.
Okay, well, anyways, I'm going to end this.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so that's it for this debate, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. My camera actually doesn't look like trash because I have good lighting this time. But, yeah, so that's going to be it. Please like while you were commenting the entire time. It was very slow, but that was my fault because I didn't pay attention to you. Comment. Okay, yeah, nope, not comment. Subscribe. And subscribe to Cody's channel. His channel name is Pope Home Slice. He put it in there earlier.
Subscribe to my future channel.
How can you subscribe to something that's not out yet?
Just, I don't know, make a reminder on your phone in like 2 months.
Yeah, a reminder in 2 months. That
You reset a reminder for 3 years.
Okay, well, anyways, that's it. Cody and Christian?
See ya.
It was nice talking to you, mates.
Amen. What? What are we supposed to do?
See you guys later.
See ya.
B-Dog. Ow.